Hey there, Facebook. I'm back yet again for another Elections 2016 episode. This time I'm going to talk about court orders. Let's say, you want to vote, but you're not in the registration rolls for whatever reason. The only way to vote on Election Day is court orders. And who does that apply to? Well, I'll go over who it applies to and who it should apply to as well. Court orders are because people tend to move around the 1st of the month, November 1st. And also, because that happens, people may have moved from a county to another county on November 1st. And the only way for them to be able to vote is by doing court orders. And what happens on Election Day, especially on a presidential election day, but most election days, in Onondaga County, the judges come to our office and they're there all day, and there are volunteer lawyers that are there to talk to any voters who may have been denied the ability to vote because they're not on our registration rolls, and they hear their case and give them a court order allowing them to vote. Now, what are the things that are normally allowed? Again, as I pointed out, if you move from one county to another county, then you can get a court order to vote on Election Day. You need to tell them, that you moved after October 14th, the registration deadline, and you're a great subject to getting a court order. Another thing that people get court orders is error by the boards of elections. We try to be as perfect as possible, but if you have proof that you registered to vote before October 14th, then and that we just didn't put you in the rolls for some reason, then a court order is good for you as well. And you can tell the judge, show your proof, and they'll give you a court order to vote. What a court order won't do, or at least it isn't guaranteed, and it must be said that these court orders are not guaranteed. The judges make decisions on a case-by-case basis. So when you come in to do a court order, you better bring your proof with you. You better have your story straight and be truthful, because you are swearing under oath what your circumstances are. So when you come in, if you just come in and say, well, I didn't register to vote before October 14th because I forgot about the deadline or whatever, it's not likely you're going to get that court order. I mean, it's up to the judge. They have to, we go by whatever the judge says. So if the judge says you get to vote, we'll give you the vote. If the judge says no, you can't vote. So I hope that you had registered to vote before October 14th. But the court order system is there for the exceptions to the rules, for the people that have legitimate reasons for not registering before October 14th. Say you just moved after October 14th and you move from county to county. Now, if you are inside Onondaga County and move, that's not a court order. That's an affidavit vote. And I talked about that in a previous episode. You just go to your new polling place. If you're already registered to vote, you go to a new polling place, filling out an affidavit ballot, and then you get to vote on Election Day. But here's my caution on court orders. Give yourself some time. It's going to be a long line at the Board of Elections on Election Day for court orders. Last presidential, we did around 400 court orders. So we're expecting that again. And once you get your court order, you then have to travel to your polling place to vote. You won't be able to vote inside the Board of Elections. So give yourself some time if you need a court order. So how do you know whether you need a court order or not? Well, simple. Go to ongov.net/elections. And if you look on our registration link right on the top of the page, and you can't find yourself, call us at 315-435-VOTE. If you can find yourself, great. That means you're registered to vote, and you're registered to vote. It'll tell you where your polling place is. If you can't find yourself, then call us. We will look at your record and give you advice on whether a court order is the only way that you can vote, or if you can do by affidavit. Sometimes people are inactive because you haven't voted for several months or several years, and you get inactivated, but you still are able to vote by affidavit ballot. So don't wait till election day is what I'm trying to say. We have a week until election day. You have enough time to go find out where your polling place is, get your registration, and figure out whether a court order or an affidavit ballot or just a regular ballot is the way that you can vote this year. And knowing your information ahead of time will give you time to go find any evidence that you need to bring to a judge as well to be allowed to vote. So that's why I do these videos. It's not, because I'm so handsome. It's because I'm trying to get you guys to think about this before Election Day. Speaking of Election Day, it's November 8th. And if you need an absentee ballot, you can still get one. But the time for mailing in an application and having us mail a ballot back to you has passed. So if you need an absentee ballot, you need to come down to the Board of Elections. We're at 1000 Erie Boulevard West, Syracuse, New York, 13204. We're right before the train tracks going over Geddes Street. Off-street parking, you can come in, fill out an application, and vote today if you're going to be out of town or infirmed on November 8th. And if you have an absentee ballot that we mailed out to you, you need to mail that back by November 7th or have someone drop it off at a polling place on November 8th. So don't wait. Do it today. Get it done. Get it over with if you're doing an absentee. We're open till 7 o'clock today on Wednesday, 4:30 most other days, and 5 o'clock on Monday before the election. Again, call us at 315-435-VOTE. We can look up your registration. We can even look up and see if we already sent you an absentee ballot, and on one day we send it out because we track all of that. We can see if your absentee ballot came in yet or not. We might be a day behind processing all those because we're getting a lot. We're up to 8,000 absentee ballots in Onondaga County. But you can keep checking back. If you know you mailed it in and it's postmarked, it's going to come to us. So, all right. Well, that's it. That's all I have. Remember, court orders on Election Day, they'll probably start around 9 a.m., maybe a little bit before, and get them to us, get to us on Election Day and give yourself some time because you're not only got to wait in line for the court order, you're going to have to go to your polling place and wait in line to vote there as well. And if you need it, look up on our website, ongov.net/elections. Look for your registration. If you're registered, then you're fine. You can vote wherever it says. If you can't find yourself, call us, 315-435-VOTE. All right, I'm done. Thanks for tuning in for another elections episode, and I will see you November 8th.